All right, listen up, nacho chips. Quiet down, crispy potatoes. This is the moment Velveeta's been preparing you for, and you're not about to crack under pressure. Today's the day to go all in on the drip. Velveeta's Heat and Eat Queso is the MVP of any game day spread, so stick by them, and you'll be golden. Now get out there and make delicious history. No tailgate party is complete without Velveeta.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. You're ready to move your business forward, but first, you need to find the right team. Start your search with Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It can help you reach qualified candidates fast, ensuring your listing is the first one they see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs are 90% more likely to report a hire than non-sponsored jobs. See the results for yourself. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, everyone, it's time for Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanis. This is episode 500, season 20. Today's date is December 7th, 2025, and welcome to the show, and welcome to a wonderful milestone for me. This is the 500th episode of Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast, and I'm very excited. What I'm going to do on this episode? Something unusual. I'm not going to focus on a couple subjects. I will talk about the podcast, and I will talk about how it got started. I'll throw some random things. I'll talk about Van Chicagoland, the count, and I'll talk about my memories, as a kid, seeing wonderful things that have disappeared from our lives. This will be great. Yeah, so I'm going to devote the entire podcast with that. I would not read a menu, not today. Maybe Tuesday, I will do that for episode 501, which is the new season 2021, excuse me. Okay. Before I get started, the program will go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by Norelco Razors. I think you know where this is heading. It's heading to the classic Christmas commercial they used to show every year. I doubt they show it now. I haven't seen it. The Norelco razors, and that started. I'll give you a history of that. So I'm going to play that right now. It'll take you back to when we were kids, seeing this during usually, I think CBS, their prime time era. That's why I remember saying that. Okay, so sit back and relax. Let's go back to the 1970s from Norelco Razors, and I'll be right back with the rest of the show, folks. Just hang on. Okay, I'll be right back, folks. Thank you.
Christmas is a time for closeness, and closeness is what Norelco razors are all about. The shiny new silver rotary razors in cord and rechargeable models with 36 blades, 9 closeness settings, and no gotchas. And the Ladybugs, the ladies' razors that really work. And the Ladybug Salon, a ladybug razor plus 11 grooming attachments. Norelco, even our name says Merry Christmas.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial from Norelco electric shavers. Like I said before, we used to watch this commercial every year at Christmas time. They showed it on the networks, mostly CBS. I remember that. Maybe NBC, maybe, I don't know. I remember Channel 2 a lot. They used to show that. And I used to get excited because Santa's riding on an electric razor, going through the slopes, up and down, and then the narrator would describe the razor, electric razor, and then at the end they would put Norelco, not Norelco, N-O umlaut Elco. So that's how it was. So let me give you a history of this brand. It's called Philips Norelco now. Okay. And so I think Norelco's gone. So Norelco stood for, it's an acronym, excuse me, North American Philips Company. I think that's what it is. Okay. And started in the 1940s, like that. And so the electric razors, I still have one. I've only used it once, and it's in the drawer. I don't know why, but I prefer shaving. If you notice, I haven't shaved my beard in days or more, a couple of weeks. I will do it soon. But I use like a straight razor, shaving cream with that. It's more clean and all that. It takes the time, but yeah. But the electric razor I use it like if I get 5 o'clock shadow and just like zzz all over the face like that. Okay, so and then it's still around. Is it still around? Sure. So the Norelco shavers they started in 1939. And then World War II ended, and then they delayed the introduction until 1948. And then they had the two-headed model started in 1951. Yeah, they had them for ladies and men, of course, like that. So that's a great Christmas memory of that. There are others, but that one is that was an annual thing. Looking forward to those commercials. Like that. Okay. All right. At the beginning of the program, I mentioned I'm going to talk about the 500th episode. This is a special podcast episode. I'm going to talk about how I started the podcast, where you can find the podcast too, and talk about other things. Talk about Chicagoland. I'll talk about the page too. Well, let me see. Let me give you a health update. I will go to my oncologist Tuesday afternoon. Not morning. No, in the afternoon. She's going to tell me the PET scan results. I hope it's good news. I hope so. I don't know. I have a sense like there's some advancement a little bit, but if it was very serious, they would have contacted me immediately, but no, I guess I'd be all right. So we're going to discuss the new treatment. That's what it looks like. She mentioned that before. Okay. So it'd be the Plavito. We'll see what happens. I don't know when that's going to be scheduled. Maybe, hopefully soon. Maybe after the holidays. I don't know. No idea. We'll see. So I'm in good hands, and please, everyone, pray for me. But don't worry. I'm gonna be all right. I also found out recently my uncle was diagnosed as prostate cancer, and he's 90. He's the same age as my mom. He lives in Australia, and I'm just devastated. At his age, I don't believe he'll get chemotherapy or radiation. I doubt it. From what I heard, you'll probably get pills or a shot or something. Because at that advanced age, it's not what's the word? Advisable to do that. So, I'm kind of sad. It's hurtful that someone that has been diagnosed, but it's family. That's the worst thing like that. So that's awful. I pray for him. He's a great guy. He's a wonderful man. All right. So let's get started. All right. So let's start in the beginning. How did they start this podcast? I'll tell you what, I went to a funeral one time. I never told the story. I went to a funeral one time, and it was a friend of mine. His mother died or his father died. I don't know, one of them. We were at the reception, and then one of his friends mentioned, "Pete, why don't you do a podcast?" And it interests me, but this was about 2000. Let's see, 2000. I don't know. 2015, 2014, or, earlier than that, in between that. So, and then I didn't give a second thought. So, then About 2019, I was going to do one. I was going to start. But my world came crashing down. And I was diagnosed with prostate cancer December 10th. That's coming up, the 6th anniversary. Terrible day. Because I was having symptoms during that time, probably around September. Yeah, probably, even earlier, like the summer. I went to the bathroom a lot, and I didn't have any pain, And then luckily, I went to another doctor. My previous physician passed away. And I went there, and he noticed the PSA was very high. It was like 7.5. And then, then that December I was diagnosed. So I put that off. I didn't have time to do a podcast. I got to focus on my health, get better. So in 2020, in April, I had the surgery. Everything went well. Then I did radiation the following year. I was cancer-free for a while. Then I came back. Then I was going to do in 2020, like after, maybe in the summer or the fall. I was not up to it. No. So this is what I did. I enrolled in a podcast class at Moraine Valley University in Palos Hills. They had a couple of classes. I enrolled in that. So to learn how to do podcast. What the funny thing is? The first class was canceled. So the second one was there. So I missed what the first one was. It was just an introduction, podcast, what it is, and all that. And that's okay. So I learned on my own going through the internet. Okay. But that was very helpful. The teacher was very knowledgeable. I did that. So around 2021, I was up to it. I was recovering nicely. And then I decided that in March of 2021, I would launch it. I posted this on Facebook and all my social media accounts that I was going to do a podcast. I didn't get much of a response. Not really, well, a little bit, but a lot of people, probably my age, are not familiar with it. But they don't listen to it. They like me. I watch TV. Lying down on a couch or listen to the radio the old-fashioned way. I understand that. But I figured I broaden this to all ages. And it is a great idea to talk about Band Chicagoland on the air instead of posting stuff. I've been posting for 13 years. Then, so I figured why don't I talk about it? And I'll talk about a couple subjects, At first I talked about like various ones because maybe I was so nervous. So I'll get to that in a second. When I launched it, it was introduction. I was stammering. I was shaking. I don't like to speak. Like, I know it's public speaking. I mean, the public is, I'm talking to my computer. It's not a person, because I'm not nervous. I figured out if you do public speaking, if you know your subject, you do very well. If it's like something random, you'd be a quivering bowl of Jell-O. So that's like it. So I got nervous doing my first episode, and it got very rusty. You know what? It's funny because it's placed in Apple Podcasts right away once you upload it, or Spotify. Later on I signed up for Spotify, and I got some reviews, and some were mixed. One guy said, you do a lot of ums and all that. I was going to tell him, look, this is my first one. Give me a break. I'm an apprentice in this, so a novice doing that. I do my best, and it got better over the years. It really did. And then I enjoyed it more and more and more, and I posted, and then I got positive feedback from a lot of people. Negative feedback, I haven't had any in quite a while. or they don't say anything. Some people complain too many commercials. The reason is, I got to make money, so I don't work. I'm retired, so I make the money off the podcast and also on Facebook because I'm Meta verified. If you see that blue check mark on my name, Advanced Chicagoland, that means it's the real deal. This is me. No one's impersonating me. Someone tried to earlier this year, and they got away with it. So I called support in person. That's one of the benefits of this. You talk to a live person, and they will help you. And they did. They did help you. That's kind of cool. So let's see what else. But the thing is, you have to pay every month. That's worth it. I don't mind. Not a lot of money, but it's you get benefits of that. So that's kind of cool. And as time went on, people started listening, and they love it. They listen in their cars. They listen on any devices, on their phones, their tablets, their desktops, their laptops. You get the idea. So, someone asked me, "Do you have guests on the show?" I go, "No. I am a guest on other podcasts, and if they ask me to join, I say yes, I would." It's a little hard for me to do that because my schedule is kind of crazy because I can't do it all the time. I don't have my own. I can't have my own room to do this. I do it in the basement. And not the basement. The family room, and there's a lot of room in there. And that's more comfortable. So, but right now I'm talking in my brother's room. I'm using his laptop because it's occupied. So I have privacy. You got to find private. You got to find a private place. You got to close off the world like that. And then people ask me, other people, there are a couple of people that I know, a couple from the media, not medium. Medium's a fortune teller. So media is they do a podcast. They start doing the podcast and they quit because they're busy with their families. They don't with their jobs or their activities. I always tell them, look, just try to find time. Instead they do YouTube videos. I do that occasionally. Just find the time. You have a subject that you're passionate about. Talk about it and share it with the world. That's what I do with Van Chicagoland. Okay. I share mostly, it's Chicago, but I'm sure other cities, other countries do listen to me, do that, and it's wonderful. And so a couple of people have followed my advice and they're doing it. Others no. That's okay. I tried. What can I do? Yeah. So, Van Chicagoland, the account is so popular. When I started 13 years ago, I never mentioned I would do a podcast, so I kept posting. In the beginning, I've told this story before that I was doing this for fun, just to pass the time. I never expected to reach this plateau, being very popular, and people know me for this. When I was a kid, I was a loner. I didn't have many friends. I didn't fit in. I was a misfit. Let's say that. And I wasn't interested in anything. I just want to make friends. That was the hardest thing to do. It was frustrating. I was angry, jealous. I won't go into that any further, but that's how it was. So I was unique in a way, So because, and then when I got jobs down the road, some involved with research, this helped a great deal. It really did. Yeah. So, all right. So, let's see what else here, real quickly. So, what I posted on Van Chicagoland is like things that are gone through today. Like, for example, restaurants, department stores, banks, bakeries, toy stores, cookies, for example, Salerno cookies. The stores still around, but not the same. Maurice Linnell. Okay. Remember that? Also, TV shows like Creature Features, Ray Rayner, Bozo's Circus, Garfield, Goose and Friends, Family Classics, all those. Screaming Yellow Theater. With the original Svengoolie. Like that. Also, Toy Stories I mentioned, like Children's Bargain Town, Child World, This Mrs. Castle of Toys, Hilo Foods, Canfield Soda. Let's see what else. Cuddly Dudley. Like that. Also, amusement parks. The one famous of all is Riverview. That is the most popular post of Van Chicagoland ever. I've noticed this over the years. The Riverview Park is it's king. It's just, people love it. They miss this park so much. They enjoy the rides like that. I know we have one in Great America. First was Marriott, then it's just Six Flags. Okay, up in Gurnee. So, but Riverview stood out. Still remembered. People wish it would come back. I like to have that back too. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what else. Hotels were gone. Like, for example, the Sherman House. There was Hotel Nico. Remember that? Yeah. Famous restaurants like the Buffalo Restaurant. Malls. Like, for example, the Brickyard Mall. The Lakehurst Mall. Okay. I run a Fort City mall group, Fort City's about to close soon. So, but I talk about my memories as a kid, my hangout, with my friends and myself. Oh, it's wonderful. Let's see. Other businesses like Home Juice Company, Color Tile, McDade, radio stations that are gone. Like, for example, WMET, The Loop. Well, The Loop is sort of around. But I'm talking about The Loop, WMET, WFYR, WDAI, WeFM, that's something. Old Chicago Amusement Park. Yeah. Let's see what's up. Montgomery Ward, for example, department stores, Marshall Fields, Montgomery Ward, Sears, Charles A. Stevens, Litton's, Carson Peary and Scott. There were other stores that were on State Street or on Michigan Avenue that disappeared. Woolworths, gone. Let's see what else we got. The Playboy Club. That's gone like that. Let's see what else. Grocery stores, for example, High-Low Foods, National, Dominic's. People still miss that. Another car dealerships. One famous one is Grant Spalding, Dodge. Okay. Remember that? Okay. Bakeries, for example, Bernie Brothers, Dressel's, Dressel's, with their famous whipped cream, chocolate fudge. Oh, good. Like that. Other malls that were gone, Dixie Square Mall, I think their 60th anniversary is coming up next year. Maybe I'll do something special then. Okay. Banks, for example, Harris Bank, Talman Bank, First National Bank of Chicago. There was Home Federal Savings. What was the other one? Chicago Federal Savings. There were other ones like that. LaSalle Bank. Like that. Okay. Let's see what time it is. All right. Well, I'm going to take a break. Play another Christmas commercial. You'll be very surprised what it is. When I come back, I'll talk about the rest and what I'm going to do in the future of the podcast. So sit back and relax, and I'll be right back with the rest of the show, folks. Thank you.
When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite. Obey your thirst.
The Who's Down in Who Newville were making their list, but some didn't know Walmart has the best brands for their gifts.
What about toys? Do they have brands kids have been wanting all year?
Yep, Barbie, Tony's, and Lego. Gifts that will make them all cheer.
Do you mean they have all the brands I adore?
They have Nintendo, Nespresso, Apple, and more.
What about...
So the Who answered questions from friends till they were blue. Each one listened and shouted, from Walmart? Who knew? Shop gifts from top brands for everyone on your list in the Walmart app.
McDade's has quality gifts for less. Like this fast and easy Sunbeam 10-cup drip coffee maker. Star special price now at just $24.84. Less a $5 Sunbeam direct rebate. And here's the famous Sunbeam Le Chef food processor. Yours at a star special price of just $79.96. Less a $10 rebate direct from Sunbeam.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed that classic Christmas commercial. Okay. Now, let's continue with what I was saying. I'll throw out some random things that you remembered that are gone, like, for example, Henry's Hamburgers, the Oaklawn Roller Rink, the Brandon Iron Restaurant. There was also the South Suburban Safeway bus lines that ran in the South Side and the South Suburbs, ran on its pace. That was cool. Like that. EJ Corvettes. Okay. Mr. Donut. Burger Chef. Chicken Unlimited. People still miss that chicken. I miss it too. Yeah. Yeah. Banana Steakhouse. Magicist. Of course, with the lips. They were on the expressways. It was on the Dan Ryan, the Kennedy, and also the Eisenhower. Yeah. Okay. Theaters in the downtown district. There was the Woods Theater, the Oriental. There was the Roosevelt. What else was there? United Artists. I'm sure there were others. Yeah, there was the Loop Theater. I remember that. Wimpy's Hamburgers. Remember that. Also, Saxon Paints. The Miami Bowl. There was the Marzano's Miami Bowl. That's at Archer and Pulaski. Remember that? I went there a couple times. That place was huge. Oh, it was huge. Sizzler Restaurant. I think it's coming back, from what I heard. Wicks Furniture. Other theaters like on the north side that were gone, like the Granada. The Biograph Theater is not like a regular theater, it's something else. So it was the Granada. What else was gone? North Shore. Yeah. On the south side was the Marquette Theater. There was the Colony Theater. Remember that? Also, there was the Jeffrey Theater and the Hamilton Theater in the South Shore neighborhood. Okay. The Drury Lane Theater, the Martinique Restaurant on 95th and Western. Oh, wonderful. The White Hen Pantry. Missed those, you know. Omni grocery store. There was the Omni. And what was the other one? I can't think of it. There was Auchan. I remember that. And I can't think of the other one. Eagle. What was that? Cub Foods. Cub Foods is still around. I think there's one in Freeport, Illinois. And some in Minnesota. That's where it originally is from. Okay. Record stores. Rose Records. The Flip Side. What else? Musicland. There was Cruising Music right across the street from Bogan High School, where I used to hang out. Oh, that was fun. Camelot Music. I can't think of other ones on top of my head. Oh, Tower Records. Okay. There was other stores that were discount stores, for example. There was Shoppers World. There was Tops. There were Turnstile, Venture, Zare. Uh-huh. So, other ones like that. I can't think of the top of my head. There were so many. Also, ice cream. There was Prince Castle ice cream, or then it turned to Cock Robin. Remember that? Yeah. There was other dairy companies. There was Hawthorne Melody. There was Bowman. Remember that? Yeah, there were milk companies. A lot of them. Bookstores. There was Rizzoli's, Walden Books, B. Dalton, and of course, our favorite, Croc and Bertano's. I still miss that store. That was on Wabash. I love that store so much. I miss it. I bet a lot of people do. It was wonderful. Wonderful. Other car dealerships, there was Burt Wyman Ford. Remember that? There was Harry Schumer Ford. Rockabye Your Baby. Think when I go around. Other famous restaurants that I miss so much is John's Garage. Who could forget that? That was cool. I love that place. They had one in Fort City in the south side, one in Schaumburg at Woodfield Mall with the ice skating rink, and the one in, I believe, in Hawthorne. I think there was one in Aurora, maybe, but I remember in Hawthorne. Another car dealership, Fenso Tufo, your monsters with that. There was also the Red Barn restaurant. Remember that? Yeah. Another grocery store. There was Hillman's. You remember that? With the multicolored shopping bags. I can't find that one. That is the holy grail of Banner Chicagoland. I gotta find a picture of that bag. I want that bag so much. Newspapers. There was Chicago Daily News. There was the Chicago American. There was Chicago Today. Remember that? Yeah. Airlines. There was Midway Airlines. I used to work at a travel agency, a corporate one, and I remember all the airlines that were there at the time. They're no longer around. Like, for example, America West, US Air, Continental. Right now we got United, American, and Delta. I remember AirTran and also American Transair. Remember that? You're flying on vacation. Movie theaters. Like I said this before, there was the Evergreen Park Theater. It was in Evergreen Plaza. I went there a few times. Let's see. Also, there was the Coral Theater that was located in Oakland, Illinois. So I went there a lot. Let's see what else we got. There was Woolworths, the discount stores. There was Ben Franklin. There was Kresge's before it turned into Kmart. Okay. Like that. Appliance stores. The one that stood out the most was Polk Brothers. Yeah, Polk Brothers. Polk Brothers was a great store. So they had the Santas and the snowmen. I have something similar like that in my garage, but it's not from Polk Brothers. No, we got this from another store. I got to ask my mother where she got those, but it's almost like that. Someday I will go in the garage, I'll take them out and ask one of my brothers to take a photo of me with them and see what I'm talking about. So that's almost close to that, because if you find the original ones, it's very hard. You can find them at antique stores or eBay. They cost a pretty penny. They really do, like that. And so let's see what else I could think of. Banner Chicagoland has so many things that are gone forever, and we wish they would come back. They really do. Oh, I thought of another restaurant, the Magic Pan. Remember that with the crepes? Oh, that was great. That was fun. We have the Bell phone centers where you buy a phone, with the landlines. There was a Mickey Mouse one. There was one with the blackboard, and there was one with the French phones like that. That was kind of cool, like that. Yeah, there was Western Electric, that company that was located in Cicero, Illinois. That was the Hawthorne Works. Someone emailed me one day and asked, "Why don't you talk about that place, the Western Electric?" I might do that. Yeah, because it has a fascinating history. It really does. Right now, I can't think of the topic, but there is something I want to tell you. I don't have just the page on Facebook. I have a group. I have a Facebook group. I keep adding people every day, and also proof posts. I'll get to that in a moment. Right now, I have 247,000 people. It's almost 248,000 members in that group. My page has 89,200 followers. Hopefully I'll get to 100,000. That'd be cool, but it's going to take a while. That'll take time. You have to do something engaging to attract people to the page. That'll take time. With the group, I just post the same. I post the same things that I do on my page. Only it's a group. And people send me stuff to approve. Mostly it's nostalgic, from their old photos, which is kind of cool. I love that. I love seeing that. And they also, do you remember this place and all that? They show bars, like neighborhood bars. I like that. A few things I do not allow on my group is controversial places or events, because I want to keep it clean and I don't want to start a fight, because I've learned this from the past. In the early days of the group, I used to allow Maxwell Street. Now, Maxwell Street is very famous. I completely agree with that. It was wonderful. But it was called Jewtown, and, some people are offended by that. I can understand. But, I tried to avoid not posting it. It is very hard. And people have asked me to talk about Maxwell Street. I would love to talk about it. But it's a little tough, It's a little hard. But, because I've never been there. I don't know much of the history of that. But it is a fascinating subject for Chicago history. It really is. Yeah, I understand. Excuse me. So I'll give it some more thought of doing that. I don't know. I have no idea. So we'll see about that. Other ones, I don't allow politics. There's enough groups of that. But this is, I know there are past mayors, governors, aldermen. I will not allow that in a group. A lot of people have given me feedback. They tell me, we don't want to see this. If we want to watch, if we want politics, we'll go watch the news, or any outlets that you want to watch. It does not belong to Chicagoland. No way. I'm sorry. I do allow a few pictures of Richard Daley, the senior, which is, he was a fascinating man. I would allow that, but, sometimes some comments might creep in and I delete them. The funny thing is Facebook does that by itself, not just me. They see something that's offensive, or, their community practices, out. They do that. Somebody asked me, and he said, I posted a picture of Mayor Daley, and now it's gone. What happened to it? And I tell them, it's not me, it's Facebook. They just removed it because there were some comments made, and that was that. Fortunately, he understood. So that's great, like that. So other controversial things like, for example, Meigs Field, no, I will not do that. I know it's part of history, but I can't allow it. That's hard, like that. They had the anniversary of the Our Ladies of Angels school that burned down. That was in 1958. Someone asked me, can you post something or talk about a podcast like that? That's a very very sensitive subject, and I don't want to do that. No. Unless I had a guest on a podcast and they want to talk about, that's fine. But me, no. I know it's part of history. Okay. Also, they always post about Al Capone. Now, I know he was a famous figure in Chicago history. I agree. But, when I started allowing that, it got a little out of hand, and I just stopped it. So, no. I know. I find him fascinating. I really do. And I like to talk about him on a podcast, but we'll see. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. So, my page and group of Chicagoland is still growing. I'm also on other social media accounts, X, used to be Twitter, LinkedIn, Reddit. I'm also Instagram, Blue Sky. What else is there on? Threads, TikTok. I've been on TikTok for a while for Chicagoland, but then I started. You have to do more of TikTok to get an audience. It's growing slightly, a little bit. It was growing for first, but you got to do something engaging. You got to post videos of yourself, because all you see mostly on TikTok is dancing. I don't dance, only in my house. So I do that. So I do post every day on TikTok, and then I let people know that I'm on it. They don't know that. I have two accounts. I have my personal account. I have my regular account. So one last thing about the podcast and the count is the recognition of people. From my family, friends, from the old neighborhood, from high school, from DeVry, a couple of them, from my workplace, from American Express Travel. I'm still friends with them to this day. I talk to them on Facebook. In the beginning, I didn't tell people who I was. Who's doing this? I didn't show my face. I didn't mention my name. Later on, it caught on, and then they figured it out. Now, I can't escape it. So they just love doing it. And someone asked me, you ever had negative comments from people, or like that? Maybe one or two. Another person asked me, do you get recognized in public? Yes, I do. A couple people have approached me, talked to me. They love the page. It happened yesterday at the restaurant when I had breakfast with my friend. A couple people give me a hug. They shake my hand. They said, we love you. We love your page. I hope you're feeling better. I had a couple autographs signed. Oh my God, that's never happened to me in my life. I was so touched by that. It's nice. I'm not really a celebrity. Just me, Picostanis. That's all. That's it. So I will continue to do this as long as I can. And hope to get 100% better. Get this cancer thing out of the way. And then the very last thing, I'm sorry. So they would ask me, will you publish a book? Yes, I will do that. I'm waiting to get better, get the treatments done, and then I'll concentrate on that. On what kind of book? Maybe a picture book, maybe an autobiography, maybe semi-autobiographical. We'll see. Probably do by category or just random pictures, or that. Maybe do a Christmas book. That would be cool. I would love that. Oh. And also got awarded from the Chicago History Museum this past February for my work on Chicagoland. That was a great day. I was overwhelmed. I still am. It was one of the highlights of my life. I'll never forget it. That's great. Okay, so that's it for this podcast. All right, so I'll do a recap very quickly. I talked about how I got the podcast started. I talked about Van Chicagoland, how that started, and what lies ahead. Okay, so this podcast will be published later on today, wherever podcasts are found. Apple Podcasts, excuse me, Amazon Music, Spotify, Breaker, Overcast, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Good Pods. I forgot what the other one is. That's okay. Also be published on my blog, www.vanchicagoland.blog. You can find those. You have the links. If you have those apps I just mentioned previously, tap follow. You'll receive a notification of the latest episode. You can listen to previous episodes if you like. Also be on my YouTube channel. And again and again and again, people ask me, where do I find your podcast? Where do I find your podcast? I want to listen to your podcast. Go to YouTube. Go to your search set. I can't even talk. Excuse me. Go to your search engine. Type in Van Chicagoland Stories or my name, Pico Styles. You will find it. Click subscribe. Doesn't cost anything. You can listen to previous episodes. You will receive a notification on your devices. You can listen on your phone, your tablet, iPad, desktop, laptop. You can listen in your car. You can stream it on your TV. If you have Spotify or YouTube, it's there. Also be sure to my social media accounts, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Reddit, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok. Okay, so that's it. We made it to 500 episodes. Wow, I'm amazed. Can't wait for 501, which will happen Tuesday. So that'll be season 21. And it'll be Christmas themed mostly. So that'll be fun. Yeah. I just thought of a subject I'm going to talk about. I might do that. I thought about it the other day. Okay. So this is Pico Sash, your host of Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. Thank you for joining me on this special episode. I hope I didn't bore you. I didn't mean to. I had a lot to talk about. I had to get a lot out of my chest, and it felt wonderful. And I'm glad you joined me. Okay. So here's Bye Bye for Me, and here's a little traveling music from our famous Chicago legend and good guy, Ray Rayner, with a little traveling music, saying bye, bye, bye. Take care, everyone, and I look forward to episode 501 with a new season. Okay. Oh, one other thing. Enjoy the Bears game. People ask me, are you going to watch it? I don't know. Nah. I'll keep it on, but I'm going to work on a Jigsaw puzzle. Okay, but everyone have a good time watching. Okay? All right. So everyone take care. Have a great day. Be careful. It snowed. So just, I'm not allowed to shovel that right now, but we'll see. All right. So everyone have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
We have to go. Bye.